All right. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I want to, in a very special way, welcome every one of you. And if you are new to my channel, please, I want you to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell for subsequent video. All right. Today we'll continue where we stopped. We In our last class we discussed about polygon, star, spiral, common shapes, impact tool, and graphic paper, and I believe we were able to practice them. Please, if you have any question based on the previous classes we've done or we've had at the past, please do well to comment and I will respond as soon as I can. Alright, today being our ninth class, that is class 9, we will be starting with text 2. Of course, in brackets we have F8. That means once you strike the functional key F8 and it picks the two text. And if you point there, you see where they explain what text is all about, that we can add and edit paragraph and artistic text. Okay, so once you pick the text, now once you pick the text, you discover that the mouse itself has changed to something A. Now once you drop what you have picked, that is the text, there is a black straight line blinking and it is called cursor, right? Of course, whenever you see this black straight line blinking, it means that it is ready to type in a text. Okay, now we, of course, based on our class, the previous classes we've done, sometimes we talk about shape and text, and often at times we have been picking the text too to write one or two things just to make sure that our class is going. Now, today we'll be discussing on this text too proper. Okay. Now, and you agree with me, once you pick the text and drop and write something, okay, you return it to the tool pick tool. You discover that the property bar has changed totally to things that has to do with the text. Now here, once you point here, we have font list. Of course, where you can change different types of fonts. You click on it and it comes out. And the interesting part of this is, as soon as you are selecting your text, it will now be displaying here. So any font style you choose, you see it displaying at the bottom. While you are still making your selection, whichever one you want, you just press enter. Enter means okay, right? Of course, you can as well increase. Remember, I told us that once you pick any shape tool or text, there's 8 black box surrounding it and it's called nodes. Nodes. Okay. Now, um, it is um it is something good for us to know that even though you know you can increase the font size from here, you can as well increase the font size using any of the nodes. Okay, and using any of these nodes, it has to be from the edges, either from this side, right, or this side, or this side, or this side. And if you discover that I never increased from the center, because once I increase from the center, it will deform the text. Same thing happens to shape. Okay, if I draw a shape and decide to this is a perfect shape, right? Because I was holding control while drawing it. So once I increase from the center, you discover that it has deformed. So the same thing with circle. I am holding control to draw it. Once I increase it from the center, it will go out of circle to form an oval. Okay, so same thing happen here. Now this, once I increase from the edge, any of the edge, you discover that they are going the same time. Okay, they are going the same time, and while you are increasing it, you discover that here too will be increasing because they have work together. Okay, but once you increase from the center, it will just deform. And funny enough, here we never make any changes. It will never increase or reduce because it's to tell you that it is wrong either increasing or reducing from the center except if there is need for it. But if you're increasing or reducing from the edge, any of the four edges, you discover that the something is going very, very, very well. So let's continue what we have here. Once I double click on this cursor, okay, once I press space, now let's just say used to is used for typing, right? A text. Now we have something like this, and let's assume I change the font to normal Arial font. Okay, so we have this, right? We have this. And I remembered in our last class, I tried to differentiate difference between the node, which comes with the black box surrounding either a shape or a text, and an anchor point, which comes in white. Of course, you can see it here. So I think in this class, we will explain it more better for us to understand. So still on this font style and font size, of course, we can bold. Okay, we can bold, right? We can utilize the font, and we can underline. So let's assume I am done using this three of this. So before I can continue, let's just say we have we need to list out some things, okay, about this very cursor. So what I need to do is if I type one, it is now you discover that both the bold, both the underline and the italics, they are following me because I have not returned it. So that means before I can type something like this, I should have gone back to that place and removed them so that once I type, it comes normal without any of those effects. Of course, once you talk about formatting a shape or formatting a text, it means changing something from what it is before to a different thing entirely. So once one is asked to format a text, a written text, that means they want you to change either the font, just change it, change the look. Of course, it comes in black by default. You can change the color if you even wish. Okay, it's part of the formatting they mean. All right. So still on this, now let's assume my cursor is used. Let me break it from this four. Okay, I want to introduce us to using shape 2 in text. Let's see what we have. Now we have this, like I said, if you are increasing or reducing from the edge, it will be taking effect immediately on this font size. But if you are increasing or reducing from the center, you discover that the something will not even make any move because it is not normal, except on demand, or except you doing the design just want it to be so. Now let me duplicate this. All right, let me duplicate this. Let's see what we have here. Now going back to this shape 2, okay, once I pick the shape 2, I want us to see the power of this shape 2. Okay, let me bring this down small. So once I pick the shape 2, of course that black nodes rounding either text or a shape disappears. Okay, you see it has disappeared. What we are now left with the anchor point, that is the white one. So let's see what we have for this anchor point. It means under it we are having this black, the black sign both in left and right. It means they have their own function. So this now will give us, let's click and drag and see what happens. It will stretch a text, right? You can stretch a text using this, okay, or you bring it back. All right, so that is what we have. To see the power of this shape 2, I was telling us that the way toolbox is as important as the active bars in CorelDraw, that is the way shape 2 is as important where this toolbox is. So meaning this is to stretch, while this equally is to give spacing between um the text lines. Of course, we have two rows here. We have row 1 and row 2. in some designs you discover that someone will just come up with something very unique. Okay, and let's see what we can do with this. With this, we've just practiced now based on shape 2 using this our text. Let's assume we have this admin. Let's work on this admin and see what we can achieve here. And I bold it. Okay. Now I can decide to pick my shape 2. Um, let's say join it a little, increase. Okay. So we've written this admin. Let's say we have a subtitle for it. Admin, let's say for technology. Now, one good thing about this, of course, we use this shape 2 to um join the text admin together. Okay, now for technology, now I just want you to see what we have here. So I can just pick the same shape 2, then stretch it. Okay, I believe in some designs you've seen, you'll be seeing something like this. Okay, you're seeing something like this and you see it very, very unique, right? You see them very, very unique. So you see what we have for this text. Hmm? Of course, you can as well give the color if you wish, right? And it's making sense. Okay, so you can see what we can use shape 2 to achieve, right? So that is for this that is for shape 2. Okay, now let's come back to this text. Now I was telling us about the node and the anchor point, right? Now still on this, if I pick my shape 2, of course the nodes will disappear. Okay, so now I can hold any of these white anchor points and increase, right? You see what we are having here. Now this is one good thing about this anchor point. You can as well join, right? Of course, one doing comic, you can as well do pick. Let's say we have comic class. Of course, we have font for comic, right? As a graphic artist, you need to download so many graphics fonts from Google. Okay, now we have font like this. This font is mainly for comic for kids. So I can let's say I break apart. I can as well do something like this. Use my shape to join it a little. Okay, then I'll still pick that shape too and then increase the M of. I don't just want it to be that straight, let it look childish like. Okay, that is one good thing about this. Can raise it up. Oh no, it's too much, right? So we have something like this, or you can still stretch it, right? So we have something like this, and let's say the class can come on the comic class. I can pick my shape too, then raise this S, the A, and this S up. Okay, so we can have something like this. Of course, very, very interesting. Well, we can pick our text. Then when you are dealing with comic, you play around with colors. Okay, I can give different colors so it will sound um I can give different colors so it will look more of comic design. Okay, now while we still have this, I want to introduce us to outline because we are doing the text training now, the text class, which is this text. Now of course I remember telling us that if you want to color the feel of either a shape or a text, of course you click and left click your mouse. Okay, and it will give the fill color. Then if you are to color the outline, of course this admin doesn't have outline. So what it means that you want to introduce outline to it. So you can just right click on any of this, because right clicking is applying outline to either a shape or a text. So once I right click anywhere, now if you see that we're having red, okay, red outline, but it is not that visible. So what it means is that once you look from this your status bar, this status bar, now you see we have this green. Of course, this one is trying to tell you that this is for the fill, right? Why this is telling you that this is for the what? Outline. Now, for you to know if this is fill or outline, once you draw your rectangle, if you look at the property bar, you discover that we are having a picture, outline picture. You see this picture here? So the same thing is applicable here. It means this particular right color here is for the outline. Of course, to apply outline, you have to right click. So that is why I guess this one is in right. Then the fill, which is the left. Of course, if you have to apply any fill, you have to left click from your mouse. So I believe they did it like that. So we understand very well. So this one is for the fill color, while this is for the outline color. Okay. So once I apply the outline color and I need to make it, of course, if it is for rect shape, once you apply a shape, the property bar will change. You can easily come here and apply ticking the outline where we have the outline width. But the that of text, you have to come where this your status bar is and double click on it. That is, you double click, that is, you press double click fast. You double click on your mouse, left double click, and it will bring you to the outline pen where you can now play around with the text, play around with the outline color and ticking it, give it the style you want. Okay. So of course I can give different color, any color I want at all. I can give different color, any color at all I want. And I will now increase the width. Okay, do you see it very thick? Don't bother, you can as well adjust it, right? Now, depending, do you want it in points or inches? But by default it comes in points. Okay, now this is the style. Can you actually distance the line, as in to have dash in between? So these are part of the outline properties where you can do, where you can just play around with the outline. Okay, and this has to do with straight line, this arrow. Okay, we will still do this now. Of course, you can work on the dashes, corner, line caps and position. Okay, but by default there is what we have behind fill and scale with object. These two is very important in terms of design. Okay, this behind fill, once, if I increase this to, let's say, 8, of course you can see it very thick, covering the text itself, meaning that once you press behind fill, now computer will now automatically arrange it proper the way it's supposed to be. Now if you are now looking in between the D and the M, you discover that the line, the outline is not covering either the D or the M text. But once you remove this behind fill, you see that it has shortened both the D and the M, and is making everything not to look neat. But once you click on behind fill, computer will now automatically arrange it for you very well. Why scale with images? While in the course of your design, of course, doing banner designs, you can't compare banner size and flyer size. Flyer size is half of A4, but the banner is more than, some of them is more than 4-5 feet and co. So it's usually advisable that whenever you are applying an outline to either a text or an object, it is usually good that after applying the outline, always go to the outline property. Okay, always go to the outline property and press scale with image. Scale with image means if you design something on A4 or in A5 and you wish to increase it to a banner size, which will be very big, once you click on this scale with object, now you discover that no matter how you are increasing it, the outline remains the way it is, simply because you have already scaled with object. It means it can never go beyond this thickness and how neat the something is. But in a situation whereby this scale with object is not activated, watch what happens. Now you are seeing this admin, you are still seeing the line, but once you increase it, the more you increase, the more the outline disappears. Okay, please, we need to take note of this. This is all we have about the outline while using text. Now the next one we have under this text is that of table. But then if you are new to my channel, please like, comment, subscribe and turn on the notification bell for subsequent video. So we can continue. The next one we have is table. Of course, before you draw, you go to your property bar and see where we have the rows and column. Okay, so we have 5 column and we have 3 rows. So once you draw, you discover that we are having 5 column, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we have 3 rows. Okay, now of course this is where we can color the outline. You can see the outline being colored, right? Being colored, and you can thicken the outline, right? And white, this is the fill color to color the inside, right? So basically this is all about this table under the text. Okay, under the text. So the meaning, while we did polygon tool class, we discovered that we have graph paper. So the difference between this graph paper and this table under text is that graph paper, you can as well, once you return your pick tool here, you can as well ungroup and give the different colors, right? But in that of table does not have such kind of function. Only what table does is either you give the outline, okay, and you thicken the outline and equally color the fill. I believe we have been able to know basically what text tool is all about, how to make use of it, when to apply an outline, and going through the outline property. The 3 most important things you need to do, that is pressing the round corners, then clicking on behind fill and scale with object, so that if you are increasing the text, of course the outline will maintain the way it is. Okay, so I want to thank you for constantly following me up in my YouTube channel. I want you to share with friends and family, and I want to thank you in a very special way for subscribing. Please do well to watch my subsequent video as I post. Thank you. I remain Ibere and have a good